All right, for our second lab that we're going to do on day 2, that lab is called isolation. And so in order to do that, we need 2 bacteria mixed together, and the purpose of the lab is going to try to be to separate them on a Petri dish. So we're going to use both of our cultures that we made yesterday, both the Serratia marcescens, which we've already used for our practicing aseptic technique activities, as well as our Micrococcus luteus, which I have here. Okay, we're going to get our empty sterile test tube out that has a cap. It's plastic, so I'm not going to be able to flame that. I don't think so, and because Serratia grows so much more quickly than the Micrococcus, I believe in the directions it tells us to put in 10 drops of Micrococcus and only 1 drop of Serratia. Now, I was going to blow that out, change my mind. So sterile pipette, so notice how I withdrew it from the bulb. With the bulb, I'm going to mix my Micrococcus a little bit, some gentle swirling. Remember, we're not going to shake. The cap's already loose because we want the bacteria to have enough oxygen. I'm going to remove the cap with my pinky. It stays in my hand here. Flame the top, and I need 1 drop, so I'm going to barely take any out of here, just a little bit. Flame the top, close the tube. Notice I'm turning the tube, and again, I'm going to move it to the back of my rack. And I'm going to just put a single drop of bacteria into this tube. So down here, and you can watch it go in. Poop, 1 drop. Maybe we'll just give it 2 for good measure. Now this pipette has bacteria in it, and so I'm going to flush that out in my bleach container that is accumulating a lot of stuff. This is all of my reconstituting vials, as well as the pipettes I used yesterday. So I'm going to leave that until tomorrow, and then I'm going to throw all of that away. I need another sterile pipette to transfer my Serratia. And notice, because I moved the Micrococcus to the back of my rack, now my Serratia is just sitting here all by itself, and I won't get it mixed up. Again, we want to open up these containers, this pipette container, and see how I'm just extracting the bulb. And I only want to touch this, so the rest of it remains relatively sterile. So again, I'm going to give my Serratia a little mix. Oh, I had it backwards. It was supposed to be 1 drop of Serratia and 10 drops of Micrococcus. So I already put 1 drop of Micrococcus in there. So I'm going to have to go back and get 9 more. But I'm going to put 1 drop of Serratia in here. Poop. Maybe a little extra. Poop. And I'm going to mix that in. And very quickly, I'm going to put 9. I had to get a clean pipette because remember, I put the original Micrococcus pipette. It's already in the disposal bit bucket. So I'm going to flame the top of my Micrococcus again. And I need 9 more drops, right? Because I already put 1 in. Busy talking and not thinking about what I was doing. There, that should be about 9. I'm going to flame the top again, turn the tube, not the cap, put that to the back of the rack, and let's add 9 more drops. You guys can count along with me. Hopefully I have 9 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, I still have a little bit of Micrococcus left in my pipette. I'm going to get my disposal container that has the bleach in it. I'm going to drive that up and down a few times, fill it with bleach a few times, and I'm just going to leave that sit till tomorrow. Now I'm finished with my fire here, my paraffin lamp, because I'm going to transfer from this sterile tube using a sterile inoculating loop onto a sterile Petri dish. So I'm going to blow this out because I won't need to flame the tops of any of these tubes anymore. Okay, so again, from my bag of Petri dishes, I'm going to very carefully extrude a single dish, right? And I want to squeeze it a little bit so it doesn't come apart in the bag. So it has 2 parts. I'm going to grab that dish, lay it down, and we're going to title this one Mixed Culture. So I'm going to, with my Sharpie again, on the back of the plate, I'm going to title it Mixed Culture. I'm going to give it my initials and the date. I am going to pause for a second here, and we're going to share screens for a minute And I would like to show you real quickly the pattern I'd like you to follow for the next portion. So if the bacteria, if this is the Petri dish, we're going to take our first loop and we're going to use that to inoculate quadrant 1. Quadrant 1, we're going to put the loop down, get the drop of liquid to come off of it, and then I'm going to take that loop and a very tight zigzag about a quarter of the way down the plate. Then I'm going to get a clean loop because I'm going to switch to a second quadrant. So I'm going to get a second fresh loop for quadrant 2. And to get quadrant 2, I'm going to place my loop here where there are already bacteria from quadrant 1, and I'm going to drag some of them out. I'm going to go back and forth maybe 4 or 5 times into quadrant 1, and then I'm going to stay out. That's what I mean by staying out. These last 3 here do not keep going back into quadrant 1. Then I'm going to dispose of that loop, and I'm going to get a third loop. And let's use green. And with my third loop, that's going to be quadrant 3. And I'm going to do the same thing I did to quadrant 2. I'm going to place the loop down here where there are already bacteria, and then I'm going to drag in and out 4 or 5 times, and I'm going to stay out like that. And then I'm going to get one more. I guess I have to use yellow. And then you get one more loop for my fourth quadrant. And again, I'm going to start in where there are bacteria, and I'm going to come out, and I'm going to stay out. The idea being that when we come back tomorrow, we're going to be able to see individual colonies, and I'll just make them red actually because the Serratia is red. We'll be able to see individual colonies sitting here all by themselves that are Serratia. And actually the Micrococcus luteus is yellow, so hopefully there'll be a few yellow colonies out here too. And back here in these areas where I'm pointing now in quadrant 1, 2, and 3, there may be so many bacteria that we wouldn't be able to isolate them. So the point of this exercise is to isolate the bacteria one from the other, isolation. We want to dilute the bacteria around the plate and isolate them from each other. You might remember this is part of the 5 eyes back from chapter 3, I believe. Now, my tip to you would be, I would, if I were you, I would practice that drawing that I just made there. I would practice that on a piece of paper to get used to the feel of how you're going to actually make the drawing and make the marks on the Petri dish. So I'm giving my mixed culture a little mix, and then I'm going to reach in here following our procedure that we've been doing over and over to grab a single loop, inoculating loop. My Petri dish is already labeled. Labeled it around the edge. Notice I'm on the lid because I'm going to lift and streak. So I'm a plastic tube, so I can't flame it. So I'm going to go in here as aseptically as I can. I want to grab a nice big loop full of bacteria. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's shiny. Put my test tube down. I'm going to pick up my Petri dish, and I'm going to come a little closer to the camera so you can see. See on my index finger, I'm putting it right here because that's as far as I am going to streak. So I'm trying to lay down the bacteria, and I'm streaking to right where my finger is. Place this down, pop that in there. Grab another loop. Now I'm going to turn my Petri dish about 90 degrees, and I can see, I know you guys can't see very well, but I can see where I actually already streaked. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my index finger down here. I'm going to start in quadrant 1, and I'm going to drag bacteria from quadrant 1, then I'm going to stay out of quadrant 1. And I'm only going down as far as about my finger. Put that in the disposal container. Grab another loop. I'm going to turn my plate yet again. So I have my first quadrant, second quadrant, turn my plate again. And again, I'm going to use my index finger as my marker. And I'm going to place my loop down and I'm going to go in 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to stay out. And then one more try. My last quadrant, quadrant 4, I'm going to use my bacteria from quadrant 3, and I have a tiny bit of space here left that where there are no bacteria, pretty much just in between my 2 fingers here. So I'm going to just grab some bacteria a couple times and draw a squiggly right down the center. Pop that into the disposal container, close up my needles, my loops here so that they remain sterile as best as possible. And then we're going to incubate this until tomorrow. It might have to incubate 2 days. So we might not be able to look at this until day 4, but we'll keep it with our other Petri dish from the isolation lab. Keep them together, stack them up, keep them in a warm place. It's out of the way where no one will, no children or pets will be able to get to them. And then we'll take a look at them tomorrow. Don't put them in the refrigerator because we want them to grow, not to be slow growing and preserve the growth. Tomorrow we'll be doing the simple stain and the gram stain. So I have already rehydrated cultures of E. coli and the other bacteria that we're going to use, Staphylococcus epidermidis. Follow those directions that you used for the MicroQuick rehydrating cultures that you used to rehydrate the Serratia and the Micrococcus. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.